Right, chapter 12, we're going to start talking about surface area and volumes. 12.1 is solid figures. In geometry, these are pictures of solid figures right here. Oops, sorry about that. Don't forget to go ahead and fill in today's date. Also, here are your solid figures right down here. So those are the solid figures, or solids. They're enclosed part of space. I'll write that. Okay, so we've got a prism, which is like a rectangular box, a cylinder for the second one, it's like a can of Coke or a bottle or a cylinder, pyramid for the next one, and then the cone for the last one. First definition here is a polyhedron. A polyhedron is a figure that has solids, so it's a solid figure with flat surfaces that are polygons. So looking above at those four figures, the polygons, so squares, rectangles, pentagons, etc. I've got these two solid figures that are polyhedrons. Okay. When we're talking about polyhedrons, polyhedrons have different parts. And I'm going to label those parts for you. We've got this triangle right here on the side of this polyhedron that's shaded in blue here. Triangle, let's name it ABC, is a face of a polyhedron. This line, I'll highlight it in red right here, CD right here. So segment CD is called an edge. And then this point, I'll highlight it for you. This, oops, that's kind of big. Make that a little smaller. This point right here, that's called a vertex. And again, that's named with just one letter, so A is a vertex. So when we're talking about polyhedrons, they have faces, edges, and vertexes. All right, so those are the three things that we talk about. Looking at our first example here, we're going to name those faces and edges. So again, faces are those shapes or polygons that make up the sides. So for this particular one, I'm not going to outline it, it'll get too messy. So my faces, I've got a top and a bottom face. So I've got triangle, oops, let's fix that. So we've got triangle PQR for the top of this polyhedron. I've got triangle STU for the bottom of this polyhedron. And then I've got three sides, because I've got a triangle for the base here, STU. I've got this front rectangle, so that's PRSU. I've got this side one kind of right here, that is PQTS. And then I've got this side one right there, and that is QRUT. We just got to name those in order. All right, talking about my edges, and again, the edges are those sides, so to speak, of that. So my edges here are PQ, QR, PR, so that's my top three edges. My bottom three edges down here make up that triangle. So that is ST, these are all segments here, TU, and SU. I'll just do US. Okay, and then I've got these three edges right there. So that is QT. I think I named those already. I named those already, sorry. QT I didn't name. QT, ST I've got, TU I've got, SU I've got, PS I didn't get yet. So that's this one here, and then RU over here. Again, those are all the edges. Vertices are those corners at those triangles. I'll highlight those for you. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are my 6 vertices here. Vertices are, again, just with one letter, S, U, T, P, Q, and R. All right. Let's see. Moving on. Let me change my... All right. So now we're going to go into a prism. The big thing about that one is it has two parallel bases. So I've got this top base, and then I've got that bottom base, which is the same figure right down here. So here are my two bases. Okay. This line right here, that side, is called a lateral edge. All right, let me erase. And then this side right here, so that rectangle, I could even look at this front rectangle. Those are called lateral faces. So again, a prism, big word here, has two parallel bases, so kind of like this top and this bottom. And then along with the top and the bottom, it has lateral faces, and each of those lateral faces are connected with those lateral edges. So that's my prism. Difference with the pyramid is it only has one base here. So just this bottom base right here. Okay, so that's my base. This point here at the top, that's called a vertex. And then this triangle on the side here, I'll do it in red, is called my lateral face. And that touches my vertex. Okay. Touches my vertex. All right, down here I've got some examples of some specific prisms and pyramids. Again, prisms have two parallel bases, so they have a top and a bottom, so to speak, and pyramids only have that base. And your prisms and pyramids are named by the shape of their base. So looking at this first one here, I see I have two triangles that are parallel, which is why it's a triangular prism. And the next one, I have those two bases parallel to each other. That's a rectangular prism, so they're four-sided bases. And this last one here, if I'm looking at the two bases, counting their sides, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which makes that hexagonal prism. Looking at those two pyramids here, notice that they just have that one base, and I name them by whatever shape that base is. So I have a four-sided figure right here, so that's my rectangular prism, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pentagonal pyramid, rectangular pyramid, and then I've got this pentagonal pyramid, so it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides, so it makes it a pentagon, which makes it a pentagonal prism. Pyramid, because there's only one base. Next two boxes here, got some definitions. A cube is a square prism. So again, my base, two bases here, are squares, so therefore it's a square prism, which makes it a cube. Cubes all have equal length, width, and height. A tetrahedron, so a special name here for a triangular pyramid. Again, triangular is talking about that base, so tetrahedron is a triangular pyramid. Last two things we've got here are, oops, sorry about that, are our cones and cylinders. They are solid figures, but to note they're not polyhedrons, and they're not polyhedrons because they don't have polygons for the flat surfaces. So there's the polygons are the rectangles, squares, triangles. They have those edges and vertices that make that. So a circular doesn't have any edges, which is why that's a cylinder. And then a cone. Cylinder has that top and bottom base being a circle. Cone has that base being a circle. And those are not polyhedrons. They are just solid figures there. All right, that's the notes for the first section. Your assignment is right after this, 12.1 worksheet.